Good morning. Are you there, Grace?
Just got an email from the Oliver. All your work.
Initially, yeah.
Good morning, Chief.
Howdy, how are you? Do you happen to have the agenda for this?
Oh, we're live right now. I didn't realize it was recording.
I don't see an agenda that I can track down. Do you know where to find it, Grace?
Okay, well, it's 9 o'clock, so I'd like to call the meeting of the July 9th Licensing Commission meeting to order. I have myself, Grace Poirier, City Clerk present, Fire Chief Eric Smith, and Assistant Police Chief, I think that's the wrong title, Joe Fitzgerald. So the first order of business on the agenda is the approval of the April 25th, 2024 Licensing Commission meeting minutes. And Chiefs, I did reach out to the legal department just to get clarification, and we can certainly vote on approval of minutes that were for meetings that we weren't present at. And because of the makeup of this commission where people fill in for each other, we kind of need to be getting these approved and posted, so. Have you had an opportunity to review them?
I have, and I would make a motion to approve the April 25th meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Well, that's pretty straightforward.
Okay, roll call vote. Chief Smith,
Yes.
Assistant Chief Fitzgerald,
Yes.
City Clerk Grace Poirier, yes. The motion to accept the April 25th minutes passes. Next up is the approval of the June 11th, 2024 Licensing Commission meeting minutes.
And I make a motion to approve the June 11th meeting minutes.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Okay, roll call vote. Chief Smith,
Yes.
Assistant Chief Fitzgerald,
Yes.
City Clerk Grace Poirier, yes, the motion passes. Next up is the application of Michael Russo and Melissa Wilbur for a hawkers and peddlers license to conduct a bum boat on Gloucester Harbor. The boat is docked at 247 East Main Street for the delivery of takeout orders, ice and water, and other provisions. And the commission, as you know, this was referred, we continued this matter for a couple of reasons at the last meeting. One was because the applicant wasn't here, and the other was because we needed clarification on the type of license that would be required for this. I reached out to the legal department and was advised that for this type of business, a hawkers and peddlers license would be the appropriate license. So I'm gonna see, it looks like we have Melissa on the call, and I'm going to bring Melissa in and allow her to talk about this. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I can't see myself, but that's fine. So what we are looking to do is to sell goods on the water, similar to like Uber Eats, but on the water. So not only would I pick up delivery service from the various restaurants around town, but maybe also some packaged goods like ice, anything that's not like that I don't create, you know, ice, chips, sunscreen, that type of thing. Being like a general service boat for other boats in the harbor. That's actually what a bum boat is. It's a little boat bringing larger boats, goods and services.
So essentially just a delivery service.
Yep.
And I think you said in a previous conversation with me, Melissa, that you're not selling perishable foods, like you've already been in contact with the
Yep, they said that
how-
I could that I wouldn't be able to sell like hot or cold, anything that needed to stay hot or cold, but I could do if I chose to, like muffins or something. But right now I'm just starting off with like packaged goods, like I said, ice, water, sunscreen, maybe, and then also, like I said, if somebody wanted me to pick up subs from Destinos and bring them out to them, I could do that. Just sort of like a delivery service.
Okay, and to be clear that there can be no alcohol delivered.
Right, no.
And also our ordinance says that a hawkers and peddlers license can only be issued to one person. It doesn't mean that two people couldn't have a hawkers and peddlers license for the same business. So what is the makeup of this gonna be? The application is under application. The application is under Michael Russo and Melissa Wilbur. And I believe it's being licensed to, well, actually, it's not being licensed to a particular property. So who would be the primary person making the sales? Who would be like the delivery? Who would be running the business? You would be, okay. So Michael would not be, I just need to figure out who are we granting the hawkers and peddlers license to? Or are we granting it to both of you?
Well,
So-
ideally, both of us, because we'd both like to run it. We're just not married. We've been together
Okay.
forever.
Okay,
But
all
yeah,
right, so.
I don't know if that works, but But if it doesn't, then just me. But LLC is under his name, so I'm not sure. Maybe him? I don't know. He should be on the call. Do you see anybody else that wants
Allow Michael to talk. Okay. I just pulled Michael in.
Okay.
So Grace, under our ordinance, you're saying that it can't be licensed.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I apologize. I was wrestling with the audio here for the last, 6 minutes or so. So I apologize. Yeah,
No worries. So Grace, I guess my question real quick is, can a hawker peddler's license be issued to an LLC, or does it have to be to an individual person?
There can only be one name per license, according to the code.
Okay.
So we would be issuing a hawkers and peddlers license to Michael Russo, and then a hawkers and peddlers license to Melissa Wilbur. If they both want one, we can't have both names on one hawkers and peddlers license.
But they wouldn't necessarily need to. They have the business in one person's name, they could both operate the business.
Yeah, I think the business, my recommendation is the business being Melissa's name.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Your
I'm
recommendation.
sorry, that the business be in Melissa's name.
So Melissa is gonna be the one that is operating, like she's gonna be making the deliveries, she's gonna be the vendor essentially, the one that's hawking and pulling her wares on the water.
That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
And not you, Michael.
No, I mean, I may help her from a shore standpoint, but as far as delivery from the boat, to be absolutely honest with you, if I do it once or twice because maybe she's got a little bit of an issue or something, yes. But she's going to be the primary individual, probably 80 to 90% of the time.
Okay, because if a license is being granted to her, it's not that you couldn't be driving a boat or taking her and stuff, but you can't be operating as a hawker and peddler without a license. So if you think that you're gonna be doing that, we can approve you for one today, and you can choose not to come in and purchase it. So for example, if, Melissa starts out to see how the business goes and it's getting really busy and she needs additional assistance with it, you'd be able to come in, you're already approved for one, you'd be able to come in and get it without any, coming before the licensing commission again. That would be my recommendation if you think you're gonna be being involved with this. Otherwise, you'd have to come back. If you don't want to take that route, you'd have to come back because you'd be a new application and you'd have to come back before us again, at our next meeting.
I think your recommendation is right on. My intent is not to be primary at all, help out possibly, but the business is good. I've got my own businesses, so my time is going to be taken up if I do help her out, which I will, but I'm not going to be the primary.
Okay. Do you want us to, are you looking for approval though, in the event that you were to take this on at a more regular, in a more regular capacity, or do you just not want a hawkers and peddlers license?
I don't know. What's your recommendation on that? I don't believe I'm going to be the primary individual in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, I would help out, but being new to this whole approval process, both Melissa and I are new to it. I mean, what is your recommendation on that with the minimum amount of?
Well, this is how the hawkers and peddlers licenses work. A new applicant has to appear before the licensing commission like you're doing today. And if you're approved, the fee for a hawkers and peddlers license is $100. It would be effective from the date that you purchase it to March 1st of the following year. Or if you were to purchase it in January, it would be good until March 1st of that year. Approval does not mean you have to purchase one though. So if we approve one for Melissa and we approve one for you, if you opt not to, act on that right away, you don't have to. If you choose not to though, and down the road, you're thinking, I want to be, more involved in this business. I want to be, participating in the hawking and peddling of my wares on the water, then you would need to come back to the licensing commission and go through this approval process over again.
So let me just make sure I understand. I understood the latter part, where if I come back down the road and want to play a larger role in the business, then I'd have to get back in front of the licensing board and get approval. But did I hear you correctly in the sense that that means that if I can get approval now, whether or not I choose to act on it, it would just cost an additional $100?
No, it won't cost you anything. So today we could approve your application. There was no fee for your application.
Got it.
We can approve your application. And if you come in and buy your hawkers and peddlers license, great. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. But for this year, you've been approved. So
Yeah, I'd like to do that then. I'll do that. Yeah, that sounds like the right thing to do, and as opposed to a lot of paperwork down the road for both you and Melissa and I. So yeah, it sounds like the right thing to do.
okay. So
Yeah, I just,
go
sorry,
ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to apologize. I was wrestling with Zoom. I'm usually normally on Teams calls, so I apologize for being late to the call.
That's okay. Chief Smith, when you make this motion, you can make it just based on the agenda item, but please insert in accordance with chapter 11 of
I
the
just-
Gloucester Code of Ordinances.
I don't have the agenda. That didn't get sent over, and I can't find it saved on the city
I did
website.
forward it to you yesterday morning.
I don't think it's one of the attachments. Because I got the minutes and I got the applications, but I don't see the agenda.
Okay, sorry.
So if you want to make the motion, and I'll second it,
Sure.
whatever's easy for you.
Okay. I move to approve the application of Michael Russo and Melissa Wilbur for a hawkers and peddlers license in accordance with GCO Chapter 11 to conduct a bum boat on Gloucester Harbor. Boat is docked at 247 East Main Street for the delivery of takeout orders, ice and water, and other provisions. And I
Second.
so- Smith. Is there any discussion?
No, I think that was our objective for the call. So I'm not going to speak for Melissa, but I personally appreciate your time and helping us walk us through this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So
All right.
just one quick question. Last step is we do need to come to City Hall and pick up and pay for the license, or what is our next step as far as getting?
Yeah, you'll need to come to the city clerk's office. You can pay the $100 by cash or check, and
Okay.
we will issue a hawkers and peddlers license.
So do we reference anything when we're at the clerk's office?
No, I'll let the staff know.
Okay.
But
Very good.
first, we must vote.
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you
so
very
it's
much.
been moved and seconded. Roll call vote. Chief Smith,
Yes,
Assistant Chief Fitzgerald,
Yes.
City Clerk Grace Poirier. Yes, the motion passes.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a first for us in Gloucester, so thank you.
yeah, good luck.
Thank you so much. Are we all set?
Yep, you're all done.
Okay. Have a good day, you guys.
I know how to leave it. I just couldn't get on it. So thank you.
Take care.
All right. So the next order of business is the application of Miguel Rodriguez for a hawkers and peddlers license to sell hats, keychains, t-shirts, glow sticks, bookmarks, books, loom band bracelets, kids paddle ball sets, plastic hand clappers, candles, water bottles, drawstring bags, laptop skins and wraps, and bottled water, juice, and canned soda. We have no one on the call. Mr. Rodriguez was made aware of this meeting. I sent him a direct email because there was a issue last time about the time zone setting on his calendar, but you know, I don't know if you want to move forward with this or.
Yeah, I think, you know, my biggest questions are just, you know, to make sure that the applicant is very clear on where they can operate, which is usually where we run into problems of folks ending up on a boulevard where they're not supposed to be, and that they clearly understand what the ordinance limitations and approval gives them, and without them being here to kind of affirm that they've read it and know it and have some accountability, I would just make a motion to put this off to the next meeting
Okay.
and give them an opportunity. And if for some reason you can work all that out in those answers and some direct, obvious, affirmative answers in writing from them that you can share with us, and, you know, just carry them on the agenda of the next meeting, and then we can deal with it then, unless you got that information already. If you have it and it's part of their application or some acknowledgement that give Joe and
not-
I the warm fuzzy about they know where they're supposed to be, more importantly, where they can't be.
I've explained it to them, to Miguel a few times, but there's been a little, I think it would be good for him to come before the commission just so that we can officially say where you can bend, where you can't, what you can use it for, what you can't use it for. I was able to have a conversation with him about transient vending at special events, and he was interested in that, but was also interested in getting a hawkers and peddlers license. But I think that it would be good for him to come before the commission and just so that everyone can really truly be on the same page with what this can be used for.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, this venue of you can just pick up your phone and be anywhere on the planet and make the meeting. If you want to do this, then take the half hour or 45 minutes that it requires and show up for the meeting. You know, I'm more than happy to help people out, but they got to meet me halfway, right? I mean,
So we'll
So-
just continue this to the next meeting because the applicant isn't here. I don't think we need to vote on that.
no, probably not.
All right, and our next item kind of follows along with this. The final item is a discussion regarding requirements of applicants to appear before the commission. My feeling on that is if we're having a meeting, if we need to meet in order to approve these, then I think that the applicant should be here to clarify, you know, answer any questions that we might have, to get clarification on questions that that we might have, just so that everyone's on the same page. That's my thought. If we're meeting anyway, I think the applicant should pop in too.
Yeah, and I'm trying to drag up the GCO real fast to see. So what is the language in the code of ordinance on that say? Does it
It
say they
doesn't-
need?
It doesn't speak to the applicant being required or not required to, it just says. the
Puts it
licensing
on the agenda,
rules.
right? Yeah, no, I would agree with you, and I think, like I said a second ago, attending this meeting couldn't be any easier nowadays with technology, so. And I would recommend, you know, have a conversation with Suzanne about amending that in the code of ordinance, that requirement for them to attend the meeting, and that we do these things remotely. And so long as there's not a significant burden upon the applicant, then they should show up, you know, it's just how life works.
Yeah, so we can just then, I don't think any votes required on this either, because we're continuing as usual.
Right.
This has been for the applicant to appear. But, you know, I know that renewal applicants don't have to, they just get signed off by myself and the police chief. But anyone new historically comes before the commission, so we'll just keep it at that.
Yeah, sounds good.
All
All
right,
right, well, I would make a motion to adjourn unless you have something else.
no,
Second.
Awesome.
we have a second?
Second,
Roll call vote, Chief Smith,
Yes.
Assistant Chief Fitzgerald,
yes.
City Clerk Grace Poirier, yes. The meeting is adjourned at 9:20. Joe, what is your official title?
Assistant Police Chief.
Assistant Police Chief, all right.
Deputy Police Chief is also used quite frequently, but I
Yeah,
think
they're
usually
They're
Assistant Police.
sort of interchangeable.
Yeah.
It's kind of wonky how we've gotten where we are. Civil service makes it muddy, and
Yeah.
then we use different terminology in the business. It's like, why? I don't get it, but yeah.
Yes, so I think officially
Sure.
it's Assistant Police Chief. But
Assistant Police
I'll answer to anything if, you know, I've been called worse, so.
Yes, we have. Awesome.
All right, well, thank you both.
Okay,
Have a good
Thanks,
day.
see you guys.
Have a good day.
Bye.